lay everything out. You can see everything is here. Really good that it looks like these are all stainless steel. These are galvanized, so it looks like anything that's going to be in contact with the bird is stainless steel. So these are stainless. These nuts here are stainless. These larger ones are, look, they appear to be galvanized to me. I put these together first just by hand. I don't like tightening against the powder coat just like this. I prefer to hold this fixed and come in. This is a 14 millimeter. Everything they have here is 14 millimeters, so I would come in with a 14 millimeter drive and use this as the fixed one. Just because I don't like turning these directly up against the powder coat. There's a lock washer on the other side. Okay, well, this is the beginning of putting the legs and the base together. So what I did is put the two on the one side. I'll do the two on the top. They're just finger tight right now, and then I'll tighten them up all at once. Got these tightened up just moderately, not too tight, because there's nothing holding these rotationally right now. So they're only tight enough to keep this rigid. This was a 8 millimeter hex on the bottom, and then the standard Phillips, looks like number 2 Phillips on top. As mentioned, there was nothing preventing these legs from rotating until you put these on, this top piece. So this is what will lock it down and keep it from rotating. And again, at that time, after these are tightened up on top, then I'll go back and give those a final tighten. But right now, you need to keep those finger tight so that this can still be moved and adjusted. And then, as usual, put all the fasteners in by hand, finger tight only, not tight, but then go back and tighten them all. Don't put one in and tighten it. All right, well, as mentioned before, there's nothing really preventing these from rotating until these get locked in. So this piece comes in underneath. So, but there's 2 screws that come through. These are those larger ones. 30 millimeters is a little over an inch. So they're these large M8s. Same thing as before, same socket, 14 millimeters, and Phillips, or looks like a bladed screwdriver works too. These have all been put in, so these M8s have all been put in just finger tight, and I'm going to go around and tighten those up, and I'll tighten up the bottom ones at this, right after I get those done. Looks like these are a number 1 Phillips, and same 14 millimeter, but they didn't supply any lock washers on the back side. That's probably okay. The tubing's going to have some spring to it, so it'll actually act as a tightening. Could always put a lock washer on there if these come. I stood the 4 sides up, and as you can see, what I did is just threaded the screw in 1 thread or so, 1 or 2 threads, just by hand to get them all standing together, and then tying them all up. The front and back is interchangeable. So since the sides have, you can see 3 on one and 2 entrances on the other for the food, you just have to decide if you want the 3 to be on the right hand or the left hand side of the front, depending on, since I've chosen the front here to be 3 on the right, but it could easily be 3 on the left too, and 2 on the right. The tubes all have very nice clinch nut fasteners, so the screws just go straight in and tighten. Don't over tighten, because you'll just crush the tubing. The tops have a little ledge or a little recessed channel-like shape along with the clinch nut. So it looks like the channel goes on the bottom, and then the top is with those clinch nuts. So I'll just tighten those down. Again, I would do each one individually, but just finger tight them. Looks like finger tight all 4 of these, and then go back and tighten them all up once you get it in place. Here's why you want to be careful not tightening everything too much. You can see that they have a little misalignment right here. The top is a little too long for it to fit cleanly without smashing it. So I'm going to back that screw off and then push that down in and retighten. The top mount panels use a screw fed through both tubes. There's the thread nut, clinch nut on the inside of this middle tube, and it uses the screw as the hinge, which is clever. May damage the threads a little bit, but you just have to put it in there carefully. Okay, same as before. These small screws go into the handle. The handle is threaded and it's aluminum, so thread those in by hand until you're at the very end, and then, or as far as you can go, and then just give them a final tighten with a screwdriver. But again, put them both in first before you tighten. The top latch has 4 different ways that this could go. It could go coming out and toward you from the left. It could be completely reversed and come from the right. Anything you want. Put in, these are countersink screws, so you tighten them in. Again, put them in, both in and then tighten, and then both in here and tighten. This front latch can go either way. So the latch could go on the door side, or it could go on the fixed side. We're going to put the door latch on the door side, since the door is, this bar of the door is actually wider than the frame. So we're going to put it on this side. Again, the screws, you see I just put them in there, and then we'll tighten them both up. Tighten this one up. You'll latch it and then tighten it up while it's latched so you get it in the right spot. They did give us a lot of extras, so we got, let's see, 3 of those, and it's a good one. It's a good thing they did, because this one doesn't even have a Phillips notch taken out of it. Not usable. But we got extras. They even gave us an extra handle. So now, time to take off all the polystyrene and peel those off. You want to do that last, so they don't get scratched or anything. Now we're all finished, and that's all there is to it.